Good afternoon. In this video, we're going to go over this past week's trades and the weekly recap. Before I get into the recap, if you're not in the room, you can find the link in the description of the video and in my bio section of social media accounts. Also, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Now, I did finish the week with, let's see, 18 wins and 4 losses for a win rate of 81.81%. Not too bad. After looking at my stats, I realized the first 2 trades of the week and the last 2 trades of the week were my losers. So that's I kind of thought that was kind of weird. But anyways, trade ideas room on Monday, SPY puts in at 454. I had the idea that we were going to pull back because we've been very overextended. So that was my idea pretty much the entire week, and VIX has been below been below 13 almost the entire week. So it was I did not want to play the call side with VIX being under 13, especially with all the things going on. So I just was not looking at calls, and I know I played some here and there, I think, but I just didn't have the right mindset. I think she should say not the right mindset. I just was expecting something to happen that just did not happen, and SPY just kept going and going and going. So with that said, what I said, the traded is rooms on the 454, which is down here, this low right here. First 10-minute candle was wild. I mean, it was really wild. And then inside candle right there, then I ended up taking puts right down here. I took the 45.50 puts at 560, and as soon as I get in, as soon as I made a new lower day and I got in, it went the other way. So I stopped out. And then I took a swing with a Roku. Because Roku, anytime Roku gets over 100, it just gets smashed. I should go to the weekly. Yeah, 100 got smashed. It's getting smashed over here. Anytime it has any significant pop, it just gets smashed. So I had 100 puts at like $2 and something. I don't remember what it was for Friday, and it just did not work out. So that did not work out. So I probably got it too early. Roku just had an extra week of running, so probably this week coming up, I'll probably end up dumping below 100 again. So I'll probably end up doing something tomorrow and getting reloaded into Roku puts and whatever. So I don't know. We'll see how I feel in the morning. But with that said, this is the third play, which Roku was number 2. Third play is I took puts at 1105, which was right here. You can see popped up the higher day, didn't quite get the higher day, rejected, and tried to make a bounce to a higher day again, made a lower high. So when it got below the body right here, that's where I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 45.50 puts at 560, and they went from 560 to I got them at 1105, so I must have got them down here because they went from 560 to 620. So I didn't get them up here. I got them down here. I probably should have got them up here. I probably didn't get them up there, probably with the idea that it was probably going to be a fake out. But I did get it. I think I had to have gotten it down here, because if they only went 60 cents or 80 cents, 60 cents, this was the move right there. So this is where I got it, right up here, right down here. So then I took calls at 1129, which was right here. No, right here. It didn't break low day, came back up and got over the bodies of these candles right here. So I took the calls. I took the 45.50 calls at 730, and they went from 730 to 1080 if you held all the way through. So that ended up being a good play. So I guess I went into this week with the idea that I wasn't going to be as close-minded as I was the week before. The week before, I just focused mainly on puts, and I focused on what the VIX was doing. And this time I watched VIX, but I tried not to weigh too heavily on it. So I did play some calls. I just had a different mindset from the week before. I think the week before I only played puts, and that was Thanksgiving weekend, and I didn't do that good. Thanksgiving week, I didn't do that good because I was only looking at the put side, waiting for the drop that never happened, and SPY either chopped or just raged. So I played the chart primarily and ignored VIX as much as I could until it didn't make sense. So then I took calls again at 320, which is right here over the body of the body. I took the 45-50 calls at 420, and they went from 420 to 880 right there, so that ended up being a good play. Then I took puts at 355 right when it dumped. I think right when I got it right down here, I think. Or maybe I got it down here. No, I got it. I'm not quite sure where I got it. It went from $5 to $5.90. If I got it here, they would have went more than 90 cents. Maybe I got it closer to down here. I'm not quite sure. I got it the last 5 minutes. So yeah, I probably got it down here. So I got the 45-55 puts at $5. They went from $5 to $5.90. So yeah, not the greatest day, not the great way I wanted to start the week. So it was not. Didn't want to start the day with 2 losses. Well, technically, I didn't know that Roku was going to be lost, so I was willing to hold Roku for the week, and ended up being a loss throughout the week. But I did take the loss. The first trade of the day being a loss on Mondays, I really don't like that. I used to do that all the time, and they were so annoying. I don't like starting the day like that. So 28th, SPY puts on the 453.50, which is down here, just rounded up, and first 10-minute candle is red, and then I took puts right on the new low a day. I took the 45-40 puts at 550, and then went from 550 to 620. You can hear my son making noise in the background. So that ended up working out. Not much of a drop. Then it kind of reversed, and I took calls at 10:04, which was right here. When it dropped and didn't break pre-market low, and it came back up to over the body of this candle. That's why I grabbed the calls. I grabbed the 45 calls at $7, and they went from $7 to $7.80 right there. Then I took calls again at 11:14, which was right here. The FU setup, massive green candles right here. Pull back, a red candle right there for a nice FU setup. As soon as it broke higher day, I think I grabbed it over the wick of this candle right here over 455.45. I grabbed the let's see, the 45-55 calls of 680, and they went from 680 to 1460. So that ended up being a good play. Maybe I took it over here. Maybe I took it over the high of this wick. Yeah, I think I took it the high over this wick right here. As I said, I got it at 11:14, and this is 11:10. Yeah, it would have been this candle right here. So I did grab it over this wick. That's what I did right there. Then I grabbed puts at 107, which is right 107 right here on the FU setup right here. All these red candles, and they got a nice green candle right there. As soon as it broke below the wick of this green candle, I grabbed puts. I grabbed the 45-50 puts at $4. They went from $4 to $8.20, so 100% move on that one too. So 100% on that, 100% on that. That ended up being a good play. And then I took puts at 208, which is right here. Yeah, right here. Popped up the VWAP, 20 EMA, rejected, came back down once I got below 454.20. I grabbed the 45-50 puts at 420, and they went from 420 to $6 right there. So that ended up being a decent play. So yeah, Tuesday was a much better day, a lot better day. Had some good moves. Wasn't sure how high it was gonna go, so but overall was pretty pleased with Tuesday. So. Now Wednesday on the trade ideas room, I said SPY puts under 456, which is down here. I'll get this low right here, so I rounded down for a nice round number. First 10-minute candle was green, was not taking it. At this point, we're getting way too overextended, and I mean we could have taken calls over that, but I just didn't feel like it. I didn't like it, so you can do it if you want. I just was not. So I ignored it. I waited. But I did take puts once it broke lower day right here. We went up these The 458.25, it rejected that area, and we had this nasty red candle. There was probably news. It's at 10 o'clock, so there was news. And so once it broke lower day, I grabbed the 45.75 puts at 630, and they went from 630 to 1290, so that ended up being a really, really good play. Then I took puts again at 1043, which was right here, right when it had a nice FU setup. It started to break lower day. It bounced a little bit, but then it finally did drop when that little bear flag right there. So I grabbed the 45.65 puts at 640, and once it finally did break right here, they went from 640 to 1130. So it ended up being a pretty good play, rejecting the 20 EMA, which is this light blue line. So this is an FU setup that kind of like faked out right here. Almost got there, then it popped a little bit, but because it rejected the 20 EMA, I finally did dump. So it ended up being a good play. Then it took puts again at 258, which is right 258 right here. I grabbed it right here. I'm not quite sure why I did that. I should have grabbed it up here at the 455.85 area, but I didn't. I grabbed it in here. I'm not quite sure why I grabbed that, but I grabbed the 45.65 puts at 610, and they went from 610 to $8 right here. So it ended up being a good move, but I'm just not quite sure why I grabbed it there, but it is what it is. My son's waking up, so might have to stop the video for a minute and pick it up in a few minutes. But yeah, for some reason I didn't grab it here. I grabbed it up here, which was kind of risky because this thing could have V-rallied because it's a double bottom right here. But for some reason I grabbed it at 258, which is right here. I'm not quite sure why I grabbed it there. But it is what it is. It worked out. Very, very surprised. I should have taken it right here at 310. This would have been the ideal to take it because it would have... Because if I grabbed it here and it took off, that would have been a loss. But if I waited for it to come back down to the 455.15 area, that would have been the more ideal place to take it. Or even say under 455.10, whatever. That would have been the area to grab it. And but yeah, this was risky. I'm not quite sure why I did that. So it ended up being a good win, but I just don't know why I did that. So. It is what it is. I'll keep going until he starts fussing. So he's not fussing right now. But let's see. The 30th, Thursday, traded his room 454.50, which is this low rate down here, rounded down to the nearest 50 cents, which is yeah, kind of down here at previous day low ish. So first too many candles red. I took puts on the new lower day, 45 puts at 730. They went from 730 to 9, and then it bounced. And this is where it just chopped around. So I played the chop. At 10:02, I grabbed the same puts, 45 puts at 680 at 10:02, which is up here. 10:02. When I grab it, yeah, I got it right here. They went from 680 to $8, so I got it there. Then I got it again at 10:38, which is right here. Right when it broke below all these candles. So the first, yeah, this play right here is when it broke below before these two bodies right here. And this is when it broke all these four candles right here. So the 45 puts at $6 this time. It went from $6 to $8.40. So it ended up being a good play. Then I grabbed puts again at 11:02, which is right. Right here. Not quite sure why I grabbed it up here. Maybe I was trying to anticipate it not breaking higher day and rejecting off the 20 EMA. So I think that's what I ended up doing, which is very, very risky. I don't not like buying puts at higher day or buying calls at lower day because the market could rip a flush at any moment. To me, that's just very, very risky. You can do that if you want. I don't like doing that, but I did do it this time. VIX was being really low, and well, not technically. I mean, VIX was up, it was over 13, but still very, very low. VIX should be a lot higher than 13. So I grabbed the puts right there. They went from 750 to 1050, and that dump right there. So that ended actually, right, this dump right here. So it ended up being pretty good. Then the last one, I took puts at 216, which is right 216, right at VWAP, the rejection at VWAP. I grabbed it at VWAP, grabbed the 45, 55 puts at $8, and they went from $8 to $9.80 right there. Rejected VWAP, pulled back a little bit, then it ripped. So I'm glad I got out, but yeah, just didn't work out. Then Friday, just I was not expecting this whatsoever. Trading newsroom Friday. Let's see, SPY puts on a 454. Which was previous low day's low. I was not expecting it to take off. I didn't take puts until 10:17, which was right here when it broke below the body, the wicks right here of this 455.80 area. You get the body, the wick of the wick. When it broke below that, so I took puts. The 45.55 puts is 750, and they went from 750 to 1180. So that ended up being a good play. And then it took puts at 11 o'clock, which was right here when it was coming down to new low a day. I grabbed the 45.55 puts at 720, and it popped. And I was not expecting that. Then I decided to grab puts again. I closer to at the money at 12.19, which is right here when it started to put in this tail candle right there, and it got below the body of this one. That's when I got the 45.85 puts at 580. Then it popped. And I stopped out at 350. So first one I didn't stop out. This one started to pull back a little bit. I thought this was the top. 459 was the top, and we're going to dump because VIX was below 1260, pretty low. So I thought we were going to dump, and then it just popped more. And after I took 2 losses, these are the kind of days I do not do well when VIX is very, very low and SPY is raging and not caring. It's just too risky on either side. So I just said, okay, I'm done for the day. I'm not playing around with this anymore. So I just pretty much called it in. And it is what it is. I don't do well on days like days, especially when VIX is very, very low. If VIX was 15 or 16, I would have played calls. But VIX is below 12, below 13, mid 12s. VIX is not supposed to be this low. Or actually, I shouldn't say supposed to be. Shouldn't be this low with all the action going on, all the things going on in the world. It's just way, way too low. So I was afraid you buy calls, it's going to do a massive dump when you're not looking. And it just kept going and going and going. So I think that we will probably end up seeing something happen next week, or this week, I should say. But Friday, 1 win, 2 losses. End of the week with 2 losses. Start of the week with 2 losses. Very, very strong week. Nice, strong week with a red Friday. I do not like end of the week with a red Friday. So very, very annoying. Still a good week. I'm not going to complain. But I do not like these kind of days when VIX is very, very low. I got to start avoiding them. Almost every time I don't do well is on these kind of days when SPY is just raging and raging, either raging on bad news or raging with VIX being extremely low. Those are the days I don't do well. So I try to tend to trade less, trade smaller size, be more cautious. Because knowing that I don't do well, I just try to adapt to it. And to me, I just can't see buying calls on VIX is this low. To me, it just does not make sense to me. And I just got caught twice. So it is what it is. Part of trading, you're not going to get everyone right. You're not going to be right all the time. Everything's in hindsight 2020. So it's easy to look at the plays after the fact to say what you should have done and what you couldn't have. But you're going to make split decisions based on the data you have. And that's just what I came up with. So that's going to do it. And thanks for watching.